So is Jurgen Klopp unhappy with FSG? Is it make or break for Naby Keita this season? Are Liverpool in for Adama Traore? Lewondowski signs a new deal. And who will finish inside the top 6? All this and more on today's Redmond Roundup. Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup, the show where we give you all your latest LFC and football related topics. People, if you enjoy, but only if you enjoy, then smash a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, we've got loads to get into. Let's get into today's Redmond Roundup. So Klopp is unhappy with FSG. This is according to the Football Insider, basically trying to suggest that Klopp has private frustrations with FSG. And if this is true, you cannot blame him because, let's be real people, he hasn't been given the proper money to go ahead and go out and spend. Even the rumours coming out about how the club want to recoup £60 million, but 35 million of that is for the Kounde deal. So it's not even like the Kounde deal came out of their own arse pocket. If you're going to recoup 60 million and you've spent as little as FSG have, you'd think they'd give that 60 million to the manager. Now, like I said, whether this is true or not remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, if Klopp was upset, you cannot blame him. You really cannot blame him. You've even got Sadio Mane, like a meme jokes about Liverpool not spending money on new signings. It's certainly a thing within the squad. Whether he meant it or not isn't what I'm trying to say, but it's certainly a thing within the squad. In fact, read this, since summer 2019 to now, this club spent 20 million net, so net spend of £20 million in 5 windows, an average of £4 million per window. And that's what we've got to show for enormous kit deals, increased match revenue, Champions League runs, and winning competitions. 4 million in terms of letting players go and bringing players in. 4 million is what we've got to show. That's a joke in the last 5 windows. And this summer we're getting Chelsea, Man United, Man City, all entering themselves into the title race because they're buying players, they're buying big players that's going to improve their squad. Why isn't Jurgen Klopp, who is debatable best manager in the league, why isn't he getting them same resources? It makes no sense. So let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, and I'll certainly keep you posted over the next few weeks. So Liverpool want to sign Adama Traore for £30 million. So Liverpool are reportedly back in for Adama Traore, according to the Daily Star. Last season he got 41 games, 3 goals and 3 assists. So when it comes to end product, I have a really big issue there, people, I will not lie to you. But I will also admit that his physical attributes, he is a beast. And if he does not do steroids, then geez Louise on a drumstick, God has blessed him with the most crazy genetics that a man can ever be blessed with. Do you know if I got them type of muscles from just running, mate, I'd be doing a Mo Farah on the world's arse. I'd be running around freaking Liverpool all day long, I'll tell you that. But like I said, even though he has got decent physical attributes, in fact very impressive physical attributes, it does not mean that will correlate to a phenomenal player. But you also have to be open-minded that Jurgen Klopp could take his physical attributes, which the fact he plays a lot of games, he played 40 games last season, but it's just the end product. But can Jurgen Klopp make that end product better, like what he's done with Mane, like what he's done with Salah? But me personally, I wouldn't want Adama Traore. There's many players I'd much rather prefer. But let me know in the comments down below, is this a player you'd want? And also, if you think about the deal, last summer it was like £60 million is what you would have been spending for Adama Traore. Now it's 30 million, so that could change a few minds. So this season is make or break for Naby Keita, according to James Pearce. So this isn't news, this is just an opinion and a debate that I wanted to bring to the channel. With Naby Keita, it's a bit of a mad one because he signs in 2017. He then officially joins the club in 2018 because Liverpool wanted a cheaper deal on Naby Keita. He wins the Champions League, wins the Premier League, wins a few trophies. He just didn't have a major part. He's 26 years of age now, and I agree with James Pearce. I think right now is make or break for Naby Keita. If he has another season of injuries, another season of poor performances, whatever it may be, whatever the excuses, there is no more excuses. Naby Keita is the 3rd biggest signing Liverpool have ever made. Naby Keita hasn't flourished the way he had hoped. But let me just say this, I still can see Naby Keita having a very, very good and solid performance this season. He's a very good player on the ball. He's tricky, he's exciting. If you can get a run of games, and I think Naby Keita is very much a player who relies on momentum, then you are going to see what is going to be like a new signing in itself. And I think if Naby Keita turns up this season, Liverpool all the more improve their chances of going for that league title. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about Naby Keita and whether or not he should stay and whether he deserves another chance, because he has been given quite a lot to this point. So Lewondowski signs with Amazon to basically make a documentary about his life. Kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie to you. And it's something that I would absolutely watch. Robert Lewandowski, one of the greatest strikers of all time, really, but especially of this generation. Scoring 40 plus goals season in, season out. I'd even like to see what he has to say on the Ballon d'Or situation a little bit more in depth, because he should have won the Ballon d'Or last season and he did get very, very unfairly treated. Like, very Thierry Henry vibes, like when Henry should have won it. Either way, I'm excited for it, but I'm more excited for Arsenal's documentary, I will not lie to you. So Chelsea are set to sign Kounde and Zouma is set to go the other way. So Kounde plays for Sevilla. He's a 5'11", pretty decent ball-playing centre-back, someone that Chelsea wants to include in their back three. I think he'd very much suit Chelsea. I think he'd suit their style of play. I think he'd suit the back five. I think the back five, if anything, benefits Kounde. Also, Zouma going the other way, so he will go to Sevilla. This deal is supposed to be worth in and around 50 million when you include everything. So 20 to 30 million for the actual money being paid, but also Zouma being included in the deal. Someone who hasn't really been able to break in to the Chelsea team. He's had multiple loan spells to Everton and such places. It hasn't worked out. He needs to go. I think all parties this makes sense. And Kounde is 23. So when you think about players like Thiago Silva, who's getting younger, Kounde can come in and fill that role if he's to be developed by that point. So let me know in the comments down below, Chelsea fans, what do you think about this signing if it's to be completed? Because Fabrizio Romano's basically saying it's done. So Tottenham want to sign Romero for 55 million euros. Now, on yesterday's video, I reported that Tottenham wanted to sign Romero. Still a lot of things that need to go well, but I also asked the James Redmond TV audience to basically educate me on this player if you possibly could. And this is one of the comments that I received, and it's actually from a Liverpool fan. And he says, Romero is a very good and young centre-back. He's aggressive, tough, enjoys defending and good on the ball, good in the air and leads his teammates. He played against us in the second leg versus Atalanta, so that was in the Champions League group stages for those who remember, and our forwards didn't get much change out of him, especially since we pumped them in the first leg 5-0 despite Romero not playing that game. If we didn't get Kounde, that's who I would have liked. Great signing for Tottenham if they was to make it, of course, because he hasn't actually signed yet. That was actually a very good comment. Someone else also mentioned that he's the Defender Player of the Year, either this season or last season. So he must be a baller then. He must be worth the 55 million that they talked about, and I'm surprised I haven't heard about him more. So there you go, Tottenham fans. There's a little bit more of the player you could be getting. And if Spurs don't actually get him, then another club absolutely should look in that direction, because he sounds quality, mate. So from one player to being Spurs in to a player being Spurs out, Romero says Celtic are heavily linked and interested in Joe Hart. This would be a free transfer, and to be honest with you, I think it makes a lot of sense. Spurs don't play Joe Hart as it is. And from a Joe Hart perspective, he's someone who, even though he might get not laughed at, but sort of not respected enough because of how the dead end of his career has been, kind of like the last 6-7 years, hasn't really lived up to that little spell that he had at Man City. But Joe Hart has always been a solid goalkeeper. From his days at Birmingham City to going back to Man City, he's always been very, very decent. And I think if he was to make a move to Celtic, where I would assume he would play first team football and could win a trophy or two, if I was his agent, I'm saying you go ahead and do that. You'll get decent wages. You're going to get a lot of recognition because you're playing for Celtic. You're going to make a lot of money, most likely, because you're playing for Celtic. And you've got a chance of winning trophies and getting game time. End your career on a high, so I think that makes sense. And then Timothy Mwanda asks me the question, James, topic for the next roundup, your top 6 in order. Well, he said is order, but obviously I know what he meant. So my top 6 in order for next season can vary so much. And please get your top 6 predictions in the comments down below. I'll do another video. I'll do a video solely on my prediction for the table next season in a different video. But for this one, I will give you my top 6. And just to let you know, this can very much change if we were to make a big signing or any other club. Now, before I say my top 6, let's talk about contenders. So you've got the usual top 6, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, United, Tottenham and Arsenal. Then you've got Leicester, Aston Villa, Leeds United and West Ham. They're probably the 10 teams where they've got the most chance out of anybody else in the league to really go for that top 6. So I'm going to go with it like this. I'll go from 1st to 6th. And in 1st place, I'm going to say Liverpool. Now, yes, there's a lot of bias going in towards that, but I am also still intrigued and still believe slightly that we can give it a good go next season with a fully fit squad. But of course, you need to have that fully fit squad. But we will see. I don't think we'll run away with it. I think it'll be very, very close. But I don't think it's impossible for us to win the league. Let's just say that. So I'll go Liverpool first. I'll be optimistic. Then I'm going to go Chelsea second. Because if they sign Erling Haaland, which I think there's a possibility they might, then I'm going to go with them going second place because they've got that goal scorer, they've got a great manager, and they've just got a good system all round. I'll go with City in 3rd place, but again, we're talking 4 points between 1st and 3rd. That's the way I'm thinking about this. They've got a good defence. They don't really need massive significant improvements. But if they was to sign Kane or Grealish, then I suppose that would change this argument completely. Manchester United to finish 4th. I know a lot of United fans have already clicked the dislike button. Again, I think it's going to be narrow. Like, I mean narrow, mate. Like, trust me. But they have improved the team massively. And I actually see them having more cup runs this year opposed to a Premier League run. I think they're more likely to win either a League Cup or an FA Cup and possibly make it to the quarters or the semi-finals of the Champions League. But I don't see them being inside that top 3 just simply due to other competition. 5th and 6th, I'm going to go with Leicester City and Aston Villa. I'm going to remove Tottenham. I'm going to remove Arsenal. And again, I know I'm upsetting a lot of people there, but I'm seeing Leicester finishing 5th for 2 seasons in a row, and they're still improving. They're still buying players. Liverpool can't say the same. We finished 3rd, and we're not improving. Leicester City finished 5th, and they are improving. It's crazy to me. It's mind-boggling. And same with Aston Villa. They finished mid-table last season. They've got a point to prove. If they can keep Grealish, I don't think this is impossible. If they sign Leon Bailey, this is definitely not impossible. Because again, they're just improving. But let me know in the comments down below your top 6. And again, that's just right now. I can change that in weeks' time. But anyway, that's going to be the end of today's Redmond Roundup. Energy will be out on Thursday. Yeah, is today Wednesday? Nah, today's Tuesday. So yeah, that'll be out on Thursday, boss. And yeah, just really appreciate all your support, people. So thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.